Hi, I just wanted to give you a demo of ProWritingAid, which I found is a really good editing tool for self-editing. So before you send your first few chapters off to an agent, or when you're trying to edit your own work after the first or second draft, this is a really good tool to make sure your language is in order. It can spot all sorts of errors that you may be blind to yourself. So I'll go ahead and start the demo by pasting in a passage of text that I wrote recently that's not been edited. So let's just see how this goes. So if we click into the window and press Ctrl V to paste your text in. So ProWritingAid now gives you the option of clicking any of the options at the top of the page, or what I like to do first is click this summary option. So it just takes a few moments and then you get a whole summary of everything to do with the way you've written this document. Now I'm just using the free version here, which takes the first 500 words. So it's not the complete document that it's analysing, but 500 words is a good place to start. And the 500 word option is actually free to use forever, so if you want to paste in 500 words at a time, you don't even need to purchase this tool. But the benefits of having the full tool, of course, that you can do a complete chapter at once, or much longer if you wish. So I'll just go through this report summary of my document. So apparently I've got 100% correct of my spelling, which is nice to see because I haven't edited this at all. Green indicates a good score, amber or orange is okay, a good score, and then if you see anything in red, it's probably something you want to look at for sure. So document statistics here, I've got 1,196 words, 74 sentences, my vocabulary, 473 unique words. It gives you a list of the most used words here. And then we go down to the readability score. So 92 is a really good score. Over 60 is what you're aiming for on this Flesch reading ease scale. There's all the other types of reading scales here, if you know what all those mean, but I'm afraid I don't currently. For any of these options though, you can click read more about this report and it'll give you a help page that not only tells you what this all means, but tells you how to fix things too. Overused words is quite useful. So here you can see I'm using feels, feeling, felt 5 times, so I need to reduce that. That's probably one of my bad habits. No or new, yeah, that needs to go, and look possibly as well. And it also gives you other list of words here that they're looking out for, but it's just reporting that I've not overused these, so that's good. Sentence structure is really interesting, as is the sentence length, because if you look at the sentence length is 16.2 words average, which is good, on target, between 11 and 18 for easy reading. I've got 9 long sentences apparently, so I might want to look at those. And if you look at here, you can see which the long ones are. They're the ones with the tallest bar on the graph. So here, this is quite a dialogue heavy document I've shown you, so there's quite a lot of short sentences, and these will be like short replies in the dialogue, the ones that are really small bars. But it's interesting to see how the paragraphs start quite long, and then we go into some dialogue, a bit of explanation, and then maybe a paragraph of thought going on, and then some more dialogue towards the end. So it's interesting just to see how your whole chapter goes. There's a section here on writing style, which gives you clues as to passive styles, how many adverbs you've used outside dialogue. It's got 9 style suggestions for me, so what we can do is click on the options at the top of the screen and go through each of these issues separately. So I'll just whiz back along the rest of the report. You've got grammar and spelling. I've got 8 grammar issues I need to look at. Sticky sentences, So these are talking about the glue words. There's 200 most common words in English, so I may need to look at some of my sentences. But it's quite nice that it gives you your glue index was better than 42% of users. So I'm about average on that, I guess. Dialogue is 21% of my chapter, which is not a surprise. And these are the dialogue tags that I'm using. Say, which is the most popular one, and a couple of others here. Pacing. I don't seem to have a pacing report then, so we'll see what it comes up with when I go into the main screen on that one. Transitions, these are structuring elements, so I've got immediately there and in time once. Repeated phrases, so it's good if you don't repeat your phrases, so I could change one of these for a different phrase, but we'll have a look on the main help about those. Cliches, redundant words, consistency, I've got zeros there, so I think that's good because nothing is inconsistent. And other items. So let's just close that. You can email that to yourself if you want, if you click the email, or you can print it out, so that's really good too. But if we go to just one of these, so we'll look at the grammar, for instance. You can click on any of these at the top and it will show you a summary. So if we open up the little arrow for grammar issues found, and if you click on any of these or look at where the underlines are, it asks you, are you sure you mean this? And in my case it's the last week of term. That is correct, so I'm not going to change that one. Again, this one I feel is correct, so I'm ignoring that one. I think that one probably does need to be changed, the last half hour, the last half an hour. So if I click there, it will change that to the last half an hour. Whether that's right or not, I'll decide later if I keep that or not. Other ones, overused words, let's have a see. So if we go into here, adverbs, normally, immediately, fully, faintly, nervously. So I've got 5 adverbs here and it's asking me to remove 4. So I can either remove them or preferably think of a stronger verb to go in the place. So you can have a look down all these, and often if you hover over the underlined areas, it will give you hints as to what you might need to do. And there's also help there on each one. So let's have a look what else we've got. Repeats. This is quite interesting. So here, phone from, it's underlined that. I've got 2 occurrences of that. I see, have a look in here. So I would go and find the other one, which is here. Yeah, I've used the same. So I'm going to change that one to mobile instead of phone. So that gets rid of one of those. So now that's gone down to 1. So as you can see, you can use any of these. Sentence length was another thing. 4 individual long sentences found, which it's underlined here, which I may decide to go back and shorten or split into 2. Let's have a look. Pacing, it didn't come up with that anything on here, so I've got no slow pacing paragraphs found, which means I've not gone on and on and on in any particular paragraph in this text, so that's good. Let's have a see. I'm not sure if alliteration is anything to be concerned about, but that's another option you can look at if you want to. I've got breakfast bar, hands on hips, Mrs. Morgan. I don't think that really matters in terms of editing, but if you want to use it to effect, it's a good way to see what's there already. One I do like actually is thesaurus. So if you find yourself using the same words over and over, which is quite easy to do when you've just got your mind on the writing, you forget what you've already written. So let's have a look at my adjectives, for instance. Other, I've got 2 of those. I could change other to new, it's suggesting. Verbs, let's have a see. So I've got 2 lots of think. And if I just hover over here, see what it suggests. So if I go into here, think, I could change that. I could change that to reckon, because it's in dialogue, so it's more of a colloquial phrase. Oh, you reckon? So that's better now. What you'll do is basically go through your document, and you'll be able to see suggestions for words. If you hover over any word, you can see alternatives, which really just makes your document or your manuscript into something a bit more sophisticated, because it's very easy to use the simplest word that comes into your head or the quickest thing you think of, but once you go back over it, you might want to say, instead of separates, I might say divides. So you just click the word. So let me just go for another here. See, I think I'm going to change that one to pushing. He continues moving the same congealed butter and jam around the surface of his toast. So pushing the same congealed butter and jam is a better way. Cliches is another great one, actually, just before I finish. No cliches in dialogue. Cliches outside dialogue, I've got hands on hips. I could find a better way of saying hands on hips if I wanted to. So that's nice that it's highlighting that. And reason why is here. Potential redundancies. I can't think of a reason why. Or I could just say he can't think why, which is much neater text. So, you know, eventually you'll end up either saying ignore or changing things, and you'll end up with a clean document with no underlines that you haven't considered. So again, this is ProWritingAid, and like I say, you get first 500 words for free, which is about this much. Otherwise, you can purchase it, and it will analyse your whole document and give you some good insights into how you can edit it for yourself. So I hope that's been useful. Thanks for watching.